Do not make your goals low because you have children. Do not lose your identity because you have children. We have to refine ourselves and understand what our purpose is. As a mom, we cannot fulfill what our children need from us without having fulfilled ourselves.
Hey, 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 I am Brianna Harmon, and this is the Millennial Mommies Club, an original podcast dedicated to all of the millennial mommies out there killing the game. Whether you are single, married, or expecting, this is the place to be during your 15 minutes of downtime. Welcome to the Millennial Mommies Club.
I'm a fun mom.
I am a patient mom.
I am a conscious mom.
I'm a creative mom.
I'm a millennial mom.
Hey mamas, and welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Mommies Club. Now, our guest today, you may see her all over YouTube. You may see the babies behind her as well. The Got It family, Tiffanys Journey, is in the building with us. And girl, from adult comedy to family comedy to where you are now in the skit life, walk me through this journey.
Ooh, it's been a wild one. It's been a quick one, but it's been a wild one. About 2 years ago, I started doing YouTube. A YouTuber in LA reached out to me, and he asked me, do I want to be in one of his sketches because he's originally from Atlanta. And I was like, no, that's creepy. Because when he hit me in the DM. He didn't have a lot of Instagram followers. So I checked out his YouTube. I said, oh, he really do YouTube. So I said, yeah, that's cool. So I shot with him here. And then he flew me out to LA, and I was shooting with him in LA. So when I was coming back and forth every month to go do sketches with him, he told me, you really need to start a channel. And I was like, well, what am I going to do on a channel? Like, prior to that, I was doing like some PR in the music industry. I was working a corporate job. I was just figuring like stuff out. Yes. And I was like, okay, but I don't know what I'm going to write about. So he was like, well, just tell me about yourself. So I was telling him about my life and like some of the situations. He was like, that's what you write about. And I was like, okay. So I started working with him. And in turn, he was working with a girl at that time. His name is El Haj. And he was working with Kanigra. And that's how I met Kanigra. So me and Kanigra was working together. El Haj was working together. And then we did the family thing for a while. I mean, adult content. I moved here and stayed here. Or let me say that differently. I came back here and I didn't go to LA every month. Okay. So I found a crew here that I started working with. The channel started to plateau because kind of when you do adult content, the next level is...
I already know.
There's a next level I didn't want to cross into.
Exactly. Not the line she wanted. I get that.
Right. So I was like, dang, what am I going to do? So I called up Kanigra, who had changed maybe like 6 months to a year prior to the phone call. She had went over and changed to family comedy. Okay. And she was like, girl, how many kids you got again? And I told her, she was like, oh no, you got to do family comedy. Like, that's where it's at. And I was like, are you for real? She was like, yeah. I was so nervous. Last year, I was like, we're going to do a total rebrand. We're going to get rid of all the people who are here for the wrong reasons. Yes. We are going to have to try to pull in more kids, more women, because I had a large male following. I had like 99% male in my analytics.
From the adult comedy?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, how am I going to get them to switch this over? So last August, we launched the rebrand of Tiffanys Journey and did it in the family comedy. I'll tell my boys, all right, come on, y'all. We got to get to it. Hey, I don't hear nobody's mouth. Right. We're getting to it. Oh, we're doing YouTube? Okay, Mom.
Just sign me up, Mom. Where we going?
I pulled my partner on board. Hey, I don't care what you're doing. You about to be dad in these sketches. Let's go. And then we also decided to do the Got It family, which is a vlog channel. So on our main channel, which is Tiffanys Journey, we do the family comedy. So think like Blackish, think of like wholesome family.
Oh, I've seen it. It's cute. I love it. We had a fan in the building that was just like, oh my goodness. So I already know.
And then we did the Got It family so we can just get more intimacy. If we go out for birthdays or just outings or travel or whatever like that. But it's been a blessing. I can say, I'm not going to lie, we called it in the oven. I sat in the oven for about 6 months. That money had dropped. Them views were low. Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. It was a couple times I cried. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay strong. But I'm so happy that I did the change because I really enjoy working with my kids. I enjoy them talking to me about filming things. Like the boys will now be like, Mommy, can I shoot this? How can I edit this? Can I get a chance to write a sketch? Can I write this? Can I do this? Yes. And we let them direct. We let them get behind the camera. We let them put the audio on.
I love that.
Mic up each other. So I'm teaching them really like skills, that they can take and learn and use as an adult, whatever that looks like for them. Entrepreneurship, how to work for yourself, how to be business minded, and I get to spend, the time with them. Yes, now it's a lot of time.
But now here we go. You said where you are now, and I'm so happy to see this and know that this is where you are. But it's not always been like that.
No.
And you have 5 babies, a bonus son, if I'm not mistaken, a newborn. That's what? How old is the baby? 6 months. Girl, you got a football team.
I got a football team of boys.
What has that journey been like trying to manage, even when you were going back to LA, coming here as a mom?
It was crazy. Thank God that I had help from my parents. Like I had some people, like my mom was able to come down here for a little bit and help watch the kids. My dad is down here now, and he is our living nanny. So,
that.
I'm really glad that I was allotted the opportunity to be able to give him a standard of living, through my financial gain so that he doesn't have to work at his age. So he just watches his grandkids and gets paid. But I mean, hey, I'm like, what other thing could you ask for,
actually
sir?
be doing? You get to go take them places, have fun. And then when they in school now, you really ain't doing much. You're just chilling. So
it was rough. I definitely had to put my head down. I definitely had to do a lot of prayer. I definitely just had to see the end goal in front of me and just know like where I was going. I mean, there was times I cried. There was breakdowns. I'm going to go in my room. I'm going to go in my corner. I'm going to get some water. I don't know what I'm doing.
But how'd you even find that time? Because as a mom, right, I have 2 girls. They're 2 and 3, 13 months apart. And you have some similarities with your boys. I can't find that time. I was just saying earlier on another episode, you in the bathroom and there's fingers under the door, so you really don't even get a second to think, to breathe. You are traveling, working, you got all these babies behind you. Tell me the bad part. Like, really, how did you get that moment to go cry for a second?
To me, I try to stay on structure. I'm very, time conscious. I'm very, because if I don't, it's
chaos.
It's chaotic. So, I try to make sure that I schedule in, because my schedule is so busy. And unfortunately, not in a bad way, but when you are a working mom, you can't have those sometimes organic moments. So, I will schedule, I have shoot days, and then I schedule family days, and then I schedule family nights. So it's we try to make sure that I do stuff with the kids. Even during the day, it's okay, you guys are doing this at this hour. We may be filming at this hour. This is your free play hour. Yeah. This is dinner. This is time for you to go to bed because I need 4 hours to just get myself back together. And it don't include me being up until 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I think it's just structure. I think it's just time. And just you really as a mom have to go with the flow. Don't get so wrapped up on being, if you're doing your best, don't get wrapped up on, am I being a great mom? It's if you're showing up for your kids and you're loving on them and you're providing for them and you're spending quality time. Because at the end of the day, we could buy our kids a Porsche.
Tell me about it.
An iPad, anything. But at the end of the day, if you really talk to your kid wants quality time with you. And that's so important to just schedule in. If you're busy, just even if it's just hectic, try to get one day where it's boom. On the day I have quality time with them, it's no phones. We're here. We're in the moment. We're spending this time. And it's this is, what do y'all want to do? And maybe you want to do simple stuff sometimes. We just want to watch a movie with you and cuddle. And I'm all 5 of you can't lay on me. So what are we doing?
But does that make you feel now mom guilt to where you're just I'm working too much? Now you've mastered a schedule where you can fit in that time. What about those moms who can't? And you're feeling I'm always on my phone. My baby's feeling neglected. How do I make her feel or him I love them and I'm there for them? Mom guilt.
I've had mom guilt. My mom guilt was when my transitional period was there. I was working corporate and then I was filming. So I would get off work and then I would go film. And then it was damn, I'm not spending that much time with my kids. And I think that you just have to know and ask yourself, what are you doing right now in this time that's like beneficial? Meaning like, you may have mom guilt, but if you're like, if I just need 3 months to lock in, because in 3 months, my life is going to look like this with financial freedom and quality time, then I will have to sacrifice this little bit of period of time. Because sometimes I feel like as women, we take on too many roles. We don't know the dynamics of people's houses, so you might have to be the mom and the dad.
Yep.
Your dad might be in the house, and you still might have to be the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
You might have to be the breadwinner. And it's like, then we do all these things, and then when something goes left, instead of us being like, gosh, that went left because I'm not getting the correct support from my partner, or that went left because of this, we always find a way to say it went left because of us.
Our fault.
It's our fault. Like, he could have burnt the house down. We'd be like, well, if I would have been there.
So I'm telling you.
If I wouldn't have took a nap that I needed to survive the day, it wouldn't have happened. And it's like, we can't get wrapped up on that. So my thing is, with mom guilt, you just have to really know where you're going. And if it's like, you might not be able to do an hour with your kid, 10 minutes with your kid, just try to fit in something, ice cream, conversation in the car. You got to get creative sometimes on how you spend time with your kids. Talking to them on the way home from school. As soon as they get in the car, they said it's super important to talk to them as soon as they get in the car. They feel like that is just like, oh my gosh, she's asking me.
Pay attention to me.
That's time they don't forget. The thing is, kids don't forget the time and the memories of that time. Even the little stuff. If you ask your kid, what's your favorite thing? They'll remember something so minute, like, do you remember when you came and read to me that one night and kissed me and told me goodnight? It's like that was 10 minutes of your day. But you was thinking, that's not enough. As a mom, they need more. Sometimes they just need you to be present. So instead of getting so caught up on that, just find a little bit of times you can be present. Can they help you while you're working? Can you be like, hey, I need an assistant. Come over here and like, help me look at these emails.
Yeah.
They can't read, but they gonna be over there like.
I bought my babies laptops. They have like the little play laptops.
Yeah.
So when mommy goes to work, go get your computer and we're gonna work together.
And that kind of helps you balance both until you can get to the point where it's like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then that works for me.
Yeah. Well, we're about to get into the cookie jar. Okay. So mamas, not only are we getting into the cookie jar after this, but I'm sure there's been some difficulties with social media, worrying about putting your kids in the light, and you got a whole man, girl. So I know that comes with some time. So listen, we're about to take a quick break. You guys are listening to the Millennial Mommies Club on Ebony, covering Black America Podcast Network.
You are listening to the Ebony, covering Black America Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the Millennial Mommies Club. Tiffany Loren again is with us. So you guys already know after the break what time it is. It is cookie jar time. These are questions from you all that you have submitted. So Tiffany, do the honors of pulling our question today.
Make me nervous. All right, let's see what we got here. Am I reading? You reading?
You reading.
Okay. What does goal setting
look like? I'm assuming. Yep. What does goal setting look like? There we go. That was incomplete, but
it's okay.
That's the joy of this.
We got
What does goal setting look like as a mom? How about that?
Goal setting as a mom looks like being optimistic, realistic, and having a lot of faith. Do not make your goals low because you have children. Do not lose your identity because you have children. We have to refine ourselves and understand what our purpose is. As a mom, we cannot fulfill what our children need from us without having fulfilled ourselves. And I had to learn that the hard way, and I'm sure a lot of moms did at first. But you have to refine yourself. You have to make goals for yourself and make goals that are going to always improve and benefit your family. I always tell moms, at the end of the day, stop trying to please. We love our men. This is not a man bashing, but stop trying to please these men. Stop trying to please society. Stop trying to please everybody around you. Because if anything was to ever hit the fan, the only person your child got is you, 90% of the time. And it's unfortunate, but if that is to occur, you always have to make sure you are healthy mentally, financially, and always in a good space, because your child reflects whatever you put into them. People are so curious as to why when they get older, parents be like, I don't understand why my kid disrespects me. What did you do to your child when your child was young? What did you feed into that child? What did you not feed into that child? So when you're setting these goals, set them for yourself, because what you set for yourself trickles down to your kids. Set them up for, a future that starts off well. Don't set them up for a future where they struggling. Get yourself together so your kids can be together, because all that other stuff is irrelevant. So when you set these goals, sit down, really think about what you want and make yourself a timeline. I tell people, okay, cool. If you want to set a goal where you want to make a movie, sometimes you can set your goal so big it feels unrealistic to get to. Set minor goals. Okay, I want to make a movie. By month 1, I want to have shot 10 minutes of it, or scene 1. Or 5 minutes. By month 2, boom. Give yourself a 6-month plan, and then by month 6, you got to complete a movie.
Yeah.
Don't go into it so hard, and then you get, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then you quit.
Yeah.
That's where you mess up. So set your goals, set them big, micro, do it along the way. And then you have it completed. And it's going to get hard. So when you're in the middle of your goal, just know, if you want something big, you want something beautiful, it's going to get ugly along the way. When it get ugly, don't worry about it.
Now, you said something about redefining ourselves as women. What was that redefinition? What did that look like for you? You lost yourself a little bit, you said, in the midst of finding who you were.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was a lot. It was a lot. I had a really big transitional period, and for me, it was a real reality check on maybe how much I poured into other things beside myself. And I really had to understand, like I said, at the end of the day, you only have you. So with that, you have to make sure that you're stable and that you're at peace with yourself. And therapy, I tell women all the time, go to therapy. Your homegirls, they cool. I mean, it's cool to call your friends.
Toxic, though. So they're going to tell you the drive-by. Let's go do this. Let's go pop off.
And then some of them going to listen. They going to just coddle you. You need somebody to be like, sis, that wasn't it.
In a positive way.
In a positive way. And redirect you. So I think that having women around you is a good. Women who are positive, women who are uplifting, women. Keep people around you who are in position that you want to be in, or are lateral and beneficial to you. Don't keep dead weight around you. Make sure that you're going to therapy. Make sure you're taking time to yourself. Have a self-care day, even if it's once a month. Even if you got to go in the bathroom and drink some wine in the tub and act like you at a spa. Yep. It's like, because sometimes we can't afford the extra stuff. Just do something that makes you feel good. Make sure that you are taking the time to feed into yourself, reading, listening to motivational stuff, getting all that extra weight off you that we carry on us, and not overthinking the things that are your responsibility and what's not your responsibility. And know that you cannot control everything. As women, we want to control everything.
Gotta have our finger on it.
Don't. It's going to drive you crazy. It's going to age you. Don't do that.
I just think we like control.
We do.
We like to be able to say, I did that, that was mine.
We do.
And we end up shitty in the stick sometimes because we try to run it off. Now, you have a man.
Yes.
A successful man, also in the industry.
I love my man.
Yeah, look, y'all, I love y'all. I love that for y'all. So, trying to balance a man, children, my career.
Yes.
How do you level that out successfully? Because I know sometimes you're tired, but I got to also come home, make sure we have sex, so we have intimacy, and we do our own thing. Yeah. How do you balance that? That's where the chaos come in my opinion.
That is where the chaos comes. He's very loving and so the joke around the house is he's Mr. Mom.
Okay.
He's very he cooks for the boys.
You blessed.
He cooks. I be back like,
you blessed.
I'm gonna go hide out over here. He cook. He take the boys everywhere. He does a lot. He's very hands-on with the kids. And to the point where I can focus on other things and relax. But that came from a lot of trial and error. We were in therapy for 3 years. We've been in therapy, and we don't even have no problems right now. We just still go to therapy, just we go, just to tell, hey, last week he was getting on my nerves. What he doing? I don't know. He just breathing too heavy on me, and I ain't like it. So I told him, get out of my face. And it's so now it's kind of like a joke, but it has helped us grow as adults. It has helped us to understand we're not the same. We can't control each other. We have to find a balance. When I'm lacking, he picks up and vice versa. And the therapist has also helped us know, like, you're busy, she's busy, y'all both got power careers. You gonna have to schedule in date nights. You may have to sometimes schedule in intimacy. And I know that it's like
weird to plan that.
But he was like, even if you say, okay, boom, our goal is every week to have 3 nights that at least we have some intimacy. So somebody needs to dictate on one night, you do the other night, and one of y'all got a wild card night, whoever wants to go. And it's like, but you have to just keep those things in mind because you can't lose yourself as a woman in your kids.
Yeah.
Girl, don't lose your man with them kids. Them kids gonna leave.
He gotta be there.
Them kids is gonna leave.
Yes.
He gonna need to have your back when them kids acting up too. So it's kind of like, you have to make sure you're making time. So our thing is we make sure that we go on a date at least once every 2 weeks or once a week. No kids. And we try to either get like a hotel or we try to have the kids out the house or we try to stay out long enough that the kids are asleep and get back.
I love that.
It's just like you have to plan really what you're going to do. And you have to give each other that space in any relationship to grow and figure stuff out. And sometimes, my stuff might be down a month and then he helps me and vice versa. You have to help each other build because ultimately you have to understand it's the two of y'all against everybody else. And that's moms, dads, because sometimes you got toxic people around you, parents and family. It's the two of y'all against everybody else. And as long as y'all keep that energy positive in your house and keep all this out from everybody and all that stuff you can't control, then y'all gonna be good.
Let's talk about that toxic thought, right? You're on YouTube. Your kids, you go places and people know you. People are asking to take pictures. Is there a level of discretion of how much you show when it comes to your children and what you guys do, what you talk about on YouTube, being in the light?
Yes. I let them kind of have their free, but of course I tell them, I always want them to be them, especially when we do like the vlogging situation, because the other stuff is more scripted content. So the vlogs, I always tell them like, you all got your own personalities. But I do give them basic safety rules. You don't share your school. You don't share your home. Because, at this point, it's so funny because the kids know they're known, but I don't think they understand and grasp how many views they get a month on here and how many people are watching them to where it's like, yeah, we're known, but it's like, no, you go places and you're always stopped. So you have to be cognizant. I tell them, kids want to ask questions. So what school you go to? Where you at? Tell me what neighborhood you live in. And sometimes they're being genuine. And then sometimes you got the ones who mama done said so they can go tell uncle such and such. And then it's like, hey, we're going to come over here and visit y'all. We don't want that. So I tell them like no school situation, no neighborhood situation. Just basic, say no last names. Don't give too much information because you don't want things to happen to you. When we're out, stay together. We're always clustered together. I'm like that anyways. I always think somebody's going to kidnap me. They're going to kidnap my babies.
Watch your babies. Look, I go to the playground and I got 2. So one want to be on the slide, one want to be on the swing. I step back and I got both of y'all. I can see everybody.
Don't leave without one of your brothers with you.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Now, you talk a little bit about intimacy. You want more kids? Y'all on 4, y'all look. Is there more babies coming? Like, we done? What's up?
So he's the oldest of 10. And I think that's why he's so
big
motherly.
Motherly. Okay.
Because he was like, I helped raise my siblings. I was caring for them. He wants more kids. I'm like, sir. So this is what his thing is. And he tells everybody all the time, yeah, we're getting ready to have twin girls. So I'm like, who is carrying these girls for one? And you're talking about twins, that's 2 more. We're going to have to drive around in a mini school bus.
A bus.
What are we doing here?
I need a Sprinter.
I don't know. I say no. I don't know. I'll just have to see how I feel around that time.
I mean, right now you a little hot because 6 months, baby, you a little fertile right now. So that was my situation. Take my time.
No.
So, Tiff, I really want to wrap up and ask, what is some advice that you would give to mothers who may be dealing with either a big family, wanting to start a family, trying to balance, anything you would give to moms out there? What advice?
I would tell moms to make sure they pray, make sure they stay in a positive headspace, make sure that they balance. Do not live in mom guilt. Please don't live in mom guilt. You are doing fine. As long as you are caring and nurturing and loving your child, you are doing fine. And just making sure that you are taking time for yourself, keep you in a healthy and positive space at all times, because you will then be able to flourish in all other areas.
I love that.
And that's really what it is. Keep you are first. You're first. And then it's the trickle down.
We forget that.
Yes.
Because we're constantly in mom-only mode.
Mom
I'm
only
a
mode.
mom. That's all I know. That's all I could do. My hair's messed up, forget it. I gotta go get the kids.
Long as my kids look good.
Right, long as they look good. And it's like, no, sis, you're a representation too. You need to be rejuvenized and feel good.
And I would say, make sure that you're getting up and getting dressed. Get yourself dressed. I mean, really, like, you could get, because sometimes I feel like as a woman, like you said, like your hair is crazy. We go out and sweat all the time. As long as my kids good, long as my kids good. But then you start feeling like, am I pretty?
Yeah.
Do I still have it?
Yeah.
Like, am I attractive? And I think getting up and getting dressed and going nowhere is really what you be needing to do sometimes, because, or going to the store, just simple places, but you got up and put yourself together, because that makes you feel good. If you feel good on the outside, you feel good on the inside. You just have to like make this thing of like, I just feel good all day.
I love that. Please tell the people where they can follow you and definitely find you on YouTube.
Yes.
Let them know so they can keep up with you, because your life is just moving, baby.
It's great. Y'all can follow me on YouTube or subscribe. Y'all can subscribe to my YouTube at Tiffany Loren. That's Laryn. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as Tiffany _Laryn. And Facebook, I'm on there as Tiffany Loren TV.
So Tiffany Loren, YouTube, amazing mom, huge family, possibly growing, maybe. I don't know. Mamas, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Millennial Mommies Club. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also, if you want to submit questions to the cookie jar, send them in to info.themmc@gmail.com.
You are listening to the Ebony Covering Black America Podcast Network.